So today we had the launch of our 5-year plan towards language revitalization called Skátne. It's really a celebration of bringing everybody together that works in language revitalization to celebrate what we've done, the work we've been doing, and what we have done to really make a plan for the next 5 years. So the reason why we wanted to have a language planning session like this was to bring everyone together, and we had some recommendations that stem from my research, my master's research with UVic, and I think to really get the message out about planning for the future was just the only way we could do it was to bring everyone together and make that space for everyone to have to look at what are our challenges, what are some successes we've had, celebrate all those great things we've been doing, and really look to the future and plan for what our next steps will be, what are our needs are going to be over in the next few years.
Well, one of the challenges was first we were trying to include a lot of different community voices, different opinions. But one thing in particular was that we're trying to figure out a way to say what needs to be done or what we can see needs to be done in terms of strategic language planning. But we need to be able to say, put forward recommendations without dictating or stepping on anybody's toes. We wanted to be respectful about the approach we took. So that was a challenge to find that right wording and the right way to put things forward where we're still acknowledging the work that everyone is doing, which is really important. And then we're saying, these are some of the gaps that we've identified. But it was a lot of pressure we put on ourselves. We didn't want to let the community down. A lot of people are so invested in the language. So that was one of the things we wanted to make sure that we did this right, and that what we put forward, we put a lot of thought into and did a lot of research on to make sure that it was actually the direction that we need to go in as a community in terms of keeping the language alive.
The impact that it has is that it's really helped us to ensure that we have a clear plan. And it allows all of our schools, our 3 schools, to really sit together, look at our plans and collaborate together. And it also allows the schools themselves to really have a focus and to be able to say, this is what we're going to be doing, and really have a guide that's going to really impact the programming, the teachers, so that, and most of all, it's going to impact the students in our schools.
Well, what we want to do is make sure that this was a big concern that came out of the planning sessions too from community members was, what'll happen with all of this work? They don't want to see this kind of fizzle out or get shelved. So what we're planning is to bring all the stakeholders back together, all the community members, and to figure out a day or 2 days per year where we can schedule language planning community-wide. So that would be a half day or a full day of planning just for the language. So that's one of the things we'd like to do. So we want to see the initiative continue, even if we have to volunteer. But I think a lot of the accountability for what's next is on the community because it takes the entire community to keep the language alive. One of the goals of this whole initiative was to create community awareness of where we're at. And I think it was a wake-up call for a lot of people to see how dire it is that we really invest time and resources and energy into keeping our language a living language. So these are the things we want to work on for the next 5 years. But to revitalize the language, for us to stabilize it takes more than 5 years. So we need to just keep working at it, but working at it more in a collaborative way with a focus, so we know that we're making the right decisions. We have limited print copies. We have quite a bit. We produce 2,000 copies. So we are going to leave copies at the Kahnawake Education Center offices. There's the one that's attached to Cattery School. There's also one across from Jersey's Chip Stand on River Road. Community members can come in and just ask for a copy of the plan during business hours. As long as we have print copies left, we'll make sure there's some there. But the plan is also available online for download and printing, and it'll stay up there. And the plan is bilingual, so if you have a print copy, it's sort of a tumble version, so depending on which way you flip the plan, you'll see both languages. Online, you can see each individual version in English or Osko Ganyak Geha.